Pulled the tire up.
Freaking break down over here already?
Yeah.
Actually, this thing's more prone to breaking down.
That's true. I haven't had any problems with mine.
This thing's a hunk of crap. Buyer beware. It's going up on eBay for $1. It freaking breaks down again.
All right, guys. Well, welcome back to Discover Power Sports YouTube. Quick video, real quick, for 5 things I love and 5 things I hate about my 2020 XRS. So,
He hates that it's a 2020.
yeah, I do hate that it's a 2020. It'd be sweet if it was a 23 with smart shocks, but it's not.
That's fine, dude.
I mean,
We can't all have freaking 2022s. Isn't that thing cool?
All right, so the things I love, real quick: the engine sound and power.
This is a man that came from a freaking Geo Prism, so he's just used to that noise.
That's true, but I still love the sound though, especially when you're getting on it and it's just nothing but turbo and just ripping.
Just sounds like air moving.
I know, I like that.
It's crazy.
So it's 195 horsepower, 200 horsepower, whatever you want to call it. Apparently all the RRs have the same actual mapping.
Actually, my piece of paper says I have 5 more.
Well, yeah, exactly. So for the first couple years of RRs, 195 horsepower, 2022s, they said 200
on paper, not on the actual machine.
The people that have dug into the computers, it's the same.
Yeah.
So 200 horsepower. They have plenty of power right out of the box, so I haven't changed anything as far as that yet. Maybe down the road.
Oh, yeah.
But they are plenty fast as is. Like, they are a supercar for the dirt. So anybody that hasn't experienced them, they're insanely fast. Next thing I like, the suspension and the adjustability. Big fan. You can really tune them in. There's high speed, low speed compression, your preload, your crossover springs, and then your rebound adjustment. Of course, this is the XRS, so it had the nicer shock package of 2020. Stevens has the smart shock, so it does all that adjustment on the fly, but that really wasn't even an option for me. But I still like the fact that I can dial it in. Some of the lesser models back then, they had the QS3 shocks, which just had the switch, and it has soft, medium, and hard, and that's it.
Yeah, so what is it, did the XMRs had that?
Yeah, the XMRs had that. So we had a friend that had a
and then the
2020 XMR for a while, and then, I mean, yeah, it made a difference, but you couldn't really like dial it in like you can this. Like, I can
get pretty specific with your style
pretty
riding.
Specific, yeah. With weight, you know, we've got everybody loaded up for a long drive out in Utah or whatever. I want it to be soft, or if we're gonna go to the dunes, crank it up, whatever. Now, what I do love about mine is mine has been pretty reliable. Steven can't say the same thing, unfortunately. Actually, on both of his. Both of his had problems.
Electrical problems.
Well, and your first one blew the intake.
Yeah, blew the plenum.
What? I mean, you only had it a couple months, 3 months. Blew the intake in half.
Yeah.
But mine has got 3,292 miles. And the only things I've done are this wheel bearing, the secondary rollers, which blew up on us in Utah. I'll link that video because that's pretty funny. And I think that's it. Just maintenance.
That's it, yeah.
Lots of oil changes. Keep that clean.
And Amsoil lubricants.
Yeah.
Available at discoverpowersports.com.
Yep.
And,
all that's there.
G-Boost belts, world's best.
Yep.
Available at discoverpowersports.com. Check the suckers out.
I'm only on my 3rd belt, but I've never blown one. So I changed the first one just as a precaution, and I wanted to have a spare. So the first one was actually zip tied to my cage. And then the second one already had, shoot, it had a pretty good ways over 2,000 miles on it, and we were going back to the dunes to Utah just this past summer. So I wanted to have a good belt on it. so we went ahead and changed it. So we've
So
got another spare.
Pretty dang reliable.
Yeah.
For the amount of power they're putting down.
Yeah. So I haven't had any problems with belts, and my last 2 belts have been the G Boost World's Best belt.
And a lot of spirited driving. I mean, these things have seen everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We've been to rock crawling. You know, they've been in mud. They've been in the dunes, trail riding. You know, long
street.
I mean, just yeah, a lot of street driving, all that stuff. So,
and every temperature, from negative temperature all the way to 120.
Yeah. All right, the next thing I like about it is I like the looks. I think they're gonna have a hard time beating the looks on the next round, whenever they come up and upgrade.
I think they just need to change the color for the next decade, because I don't know what else they can do.
I love how they look. Everyone makes fun of that they just changed the colors, but I love how they look. And you can do so much with changing the colors that whatever, they just look good. All right, number 5. I like the interior. I like the room. I like that you sit down. Some people don't like that you sit down so far. I actually like that you sit down. It's roomy, it's comfortable. Even when we've got my son sitting up in here, no problems. I mean, it can get a little bit cramped, but other than that, it's nice. Laid out nice, plenty of switch space. This one actually has heated seats, both sides, which you're gonna see in an upcoming video, some installs. We're gonna put them on Stevens and then on the KRX. And that, I guess we added lower doors and that helped.
Yeah, it helped keep some of the heat in, and the look, obviously.
Yeah.
And here, just the amount of splash you get off of these tires, especially going up in size, just dirt, mud, water, it just blasted you and ended up in your lap. So we're on these guys, and they're just super easy to take off.
Right.
Yeah.
We added these bags. So, do you have? I don't think you have.
No, I don't have bags. I just have my roof bag and my back
This
luggage.
bag up here, and then you got this little storage area back in here.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of options to, kind of mod up your interior with storage. Of course, they make the bags here, but ton of that they've had this out so long that there's just been enough time for a lot of people to make a lot of cool aftermarket stuff for these too. I'm kind of happy they haven't just done a big blowout change, and all those years of people making awesome things, are just going to be tied to the old units, Yeah,
because even Razor, they made changes, but they were like small changes until even the Turbo S was very closely related to the old 1000s and Turbo 1000s. So, but that lets the aftermarket be able to stay in the game and keep making things for them. So that's 5 things I love. There's a lot of other things I love about it. Every time I drive it, I am always amazed at how awesome it is. I had 2 OG Mavericks before this, a 2014 XRS and then a 2016 XDS Turbo. And these are not even close to the same machines. They are way better and improved in every way. Now, things I hate. Number 1, the lack of technology stuff. They do have the smart lock. They've got, some people knock the gauge cluster. I don't mind the gauge cluster. They do show a lot of information. When I found out that you can do the speedometer over here, I like that better, because then I like to show my temp here. But the screen, that's definitely behind something that they should add. Whether it's GPS,
I mean, even CF Moto's got a screen, dog.
Yeah.
What's up?
What is it? The telematics and all that stuff for the shocks.
Yeah, your ride command.
Yeah,
I mean,
all that stuff.
Your Segways have them now. Your Polarises have them now. I mean, literally, I'm not even joking. CF Moto has it.
Yeah.
And like, you got to be like me. I run that iPad and a myriad of apps, but just having that all integrated is awesome. Even the KRX, Kawasaki has factory options to put in modular cameras and screen systems in these things.
Yeah, well, and they have the factory screens. So even Steven and I, when we're out on long trips, we actually run Polaris Ride Command apps on our phone and the OnX off-road. Definitely recommend that. It is an awesome app for tracking, and they've got.
I mean, that's how we get everywhere.
Yeah,
we just used Polaris Ride Command because that was the best thing out there at the time.
Yeah, before. Yeah.
And we did it so we would, know where we were at. Because obviously these things were getting boogieing down. We got to put a little bit of distance between us on the road to dust. So
we can kind of watch each other.
A little bit of redundancy, but yeah, it's awesome.
But it helps.
For sure.
Yeah, the oil change procedure is terrible. So they have a wet sump, no, dry sump, right? Dry sump oil system. So there's actually 2 drains in here, but it just drains into this pan, and like there's no controlling it. You can see where this is like filled up with crud, and that's from changing the oil. Now we did get a little special funnel that'll fit down there and kind of spit it out in the hole in the skid plate, but guys, what were y'all thinking? Like, nobody at Can-Am was like, maybe we should do something about that on a very expensive machine. And then not even that. That's not even all of it. I mean, it's definitely the worst part, but it's not all of it. To refill the engine through the filler is also a pain because you have to fill it up through the bed. I guess you can take the bed off if you want. We've never done that. We just ram a funnel down through the bed to the dipstick that's, I guess, up here.
Yeah, and you get a cartridge filter, so usually you get oil everywhere.
Yeah, so the filler,
you gotta use one of these guys.
The filler is right there. So we'll take that out, put a funnel in there, and then we'll put a funnel on the top of the bed running that funnel, and then we'll fill it up that way. So we'll have 2 funnels going, 2 of us holding. It's just a pain in the butt. Like, come on,
we've gotten pretty good at it after several changes, but your first few, if you ain't got the right crap, you're
gonna
making
make a mess. Oh,
and this sucker is gonna pull up on your skid plate and leak residual
for
a while.
Weeks, yeah.
Yeah. Every time I'd pull it out, I was like, oh crap, is it leaking? They're not tighten something. But yeah, your sump and everything's in this area, but your cartridge filter's right there. So
yeah, the filter's not bad.
That guy's pretty easy to get out. You just want to make sure when you pull it out, you make sure you didn't leave the top of that filter in that housing, because some people have doubled up and blown some motors up.
Yeah, that's true. Next thing, they're not on. Turn them on. Factory headlights. Now they look amazing, but they are not amazing. They are not near bright enough. Even when you have them adjusted and you get the line, perfect across the road or whatever. I imagine these are not even good enough for the 120 horsepower models, because they are just not bright. With the high beams and low beams on, they are not good enough at all. So that's why we've got these from Diode Dynamics. They're available on discoverpowersports.com. Definitely check those out. They are amazing. They make the difference. I mean, when you turn 2 of these on and you have the high beams of these on, you can't even tell these are on. You can turn them off and it makes 0 difference. That's how pathetic these are. So my OG Mavs, they just had halogen 9005 and 9006 bulbs for the high and low beams, and they were way brighter than these and way slower. So you're gonna outrun these lights very quickly. So if you get one of these and you're gonna do night riding, you need something. So just be looking for that. Next thing, squeaky brakes when the pads get wet. That's just annoying. I don't know why all Can-Ams do that.
Yeah, it's an off-road machine.
I guess I'll get new pads eventually, but it's just annoying.
Well, it's an off-road machine, so y'all just in the comments tell this guy to get a Jeep. But I will say
But do they know
how after one ride, how squeaky everything gets, and you spend again some $50,000 sometimes, and sometimes it just hurts a little when you got, oh man, this drives me nuts. So throw in the AirPods or your freaking comm system and rip, but yeah, it does get a little bit tiring hearing it.
Yeah. All right, the last thing that I really hate that I've changed something to make it better
Put the sweet arrow on there.
Steven put this on there. for me. The clutch noise is insane. The P drives are way better. So the 2022s right and up, 23s, they have the P drive primary. But these are terrible. These are Can-Am factory upgraded, whatever, cooling pipes,
yeah, cooling
for the clutching, and they actually dumb down some of the noise. But I think some of the problem is the fact they've got it ducted right here behind your head. So a lot of people have those
pool noodles and stuff in them.
Yeah, they fill this in and then they put a vent.
Yeah, do the relocation.
Yeah, they'll put a vent back here. I haven't done any of that because after I put these in and then put AirPods in, it's fine.
Yeah, and you can buy this kit, so if you're not in that year range where they've actually come with these little mufflers, you can actually buy this kit and retrofit it. It all just bolts right back up. So
and it's pretty inexpensive.
Nothing complicated.
I think it was either $100-ish. Yeah. Rocky Mountain ATV. So
yeah, OEM part. So
really, those are probably the main things I dislike. That's the 5 things I dislike. Everything else I really love. I really love this machine. I have no intention on getting rid of it or anything like that, I guess, right now. But it's been nice. I've loved having it. We still take it all over the place. We still plan on taking it all over the place. And we'll continue to change things and make it better and try out different mods and all that. One thing coming is the lighting. I do not like the lighting here, so I'm going to put these up here. And the reason is I don't like how much light it puts actually inside and on the hood. I'm sure I'm going to still get a bunch on the hood from here, but I think with having a light colored cage, by the time you get this light in here, it's very distracting when you're doing like 70 miles an hour through a wash in Arizona at night. So maybe a small thing or whatever, but I really like just having the light more facing forward and not, you know, I guess distracting you with all the other things. So I'm gonna put them up here. I'm sure I'll get still some on the hood, but a lot of this stuff blocks that anyway, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And then this will keep it out of here, because I mean I get actually a pretty good glare off the mirror and the cage, because the cage is a light color. So I'm gonna change that. Other than that, just keep it going good. I mean, keep the maintenance up and run it. So for the parts, the lighting, and other things, make sure to check out the website, discoverpowersports.com. We have a lot of stuff on there. Even email us and we can you know, look at getting you a better deal on stuff, because we have to advertise certain prices online. So appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.